I'm feeling high. My money's gone. I'm all alone. Too much to see. The world is turning. Oh, what a day. What a day. What a day. Peace and blessings manifest with every lesson learned. If your knowledge were your wealth, then it would be well earned. If we were made in his image, then call us by our name. Most intellects do not believe in God, but they fear us just the same. Oh, no. The cypher keeps moving like a rolling stone. Oh, no. Oh, no. The cypher keeps rolling like a rolling stone.
What a song.
Oh, no.
Yes, Coquettish. Give it to us.
I was born underwater with $3 and 6 dimes. Yeah, you may laugh because you did not do your math. All right, let's move on.
All right. Man, the first time I heard that song, I was like, wow, this is the deepest shit I ever heard in my life.
It's really like I bounce back and forth between just jamming out to it as a beautiful R&B, soul, jazzy record that it is. Then other times I'm really high and she's like, the man that knows something knows that he knows nothing at all. And I'm just like, that is so
real.
Oh my God. I agree.
Classics.
Welcome back to the show, guys. I'm Thea Vidal.
And I am Mariah Carey.
This is The Read.
Yes, Thea. One of my favorite sitcoms that nobody remembers.
Everybody remembers Thea.
No, they don't. Everybody do not remember Thea. I don't know how they don't. I don't know how they don't remember Brandy being on that show. Or was it Jason Weaver? Or who else
Jason Weaver was the little brother.
But every time she would send them to their room, she said, to the Capitol, see ya! And yes. I would scream. I thought that shit was so funny.
See ya may have been one of my first sentences. I'm kidding. I don't even remember how old. I remember I was young, and see ya made me laugh every single time.
I loved it.
Every time. And then I feel like I was also that age that me giggling at something on the TV was probably really hilarious to my mom and them. So then they would say see ya all of the time to get me to laugh.
You to laugh.
Yes. Anyway, welcome back, guys. Let's start off the show with some Black excellence. 2 Black queens to honor today. First and foremost, Coco Gauff, 15-year-old tennis superhero.
That's right.
I don't know where to begin and end with that one. Yeah, I mean, that's also a great description.
That's exactly what she is.
So I'm a little tennis illiterate.
Oh,
I can watch the game and follow.
Okay.
And I get I play Super Mario Tennis a lot.
Okay.
So I get how the point system sort of works.
Yeah, I think I do too. I can usually tell when somebody scored a point or didn't.
Yes. And sometimes I can even tell why.
Yes, me too. Like when you hit it into the net.
Right.
I know that's not good.
That's not a good thing.
Or when it goes out of bounds.
Yep.
And you don't catch it in time, maybe.
Yeah. And it's got to bounce once.
Yes, it has to bounce once within the lines in order for it to count. If you hit it out of the lines, then that's your bad, not the other person's bad.
Yes.
Right?
I know some brothers coming out with a Black tennis podcast soon, so I'll just listen to it.
Yes.
Look, so this child was already making headlines maybe a week or so ago by being, I believe, the youngest player to qualify for the main draw of Wimbledon in the open air or something like this.
Yeah.
But also, she won the Junior French Open in 2018, second youngest player to do that. Youngest ever finalist in the girls singles event of the U.S. Open. I mean, so she just beat Venus.
I saw that.
And as a lot of young Black tennis player girls, the Williams sisters were players that she looked up to.
Of course.
Inspired by.
Who else?
It's like, how do you even play your idol, much less beat them?
She was just so emotional afterwards. It was really sweet.
So she's doing the things, and one to look out for. She's going, I think, to the next round, or maybe even play the next round because I don't even know what today was.
Right.
So
me either.
God bless her, not only for the name of the game, but also for being a 15-year-old celebrity at this point.
Right.
you know, I'm
and just
sure
so good.
you got to go on and answer people's questions after you play. And
right.
Take photographs.
I don't know. I know if they thought she was going to talk shit about Venus, they had the absolute wrong one. Because she was just like, my literal idol. I love her.
I think they couldn't possibly expect that to happen.
But I saw on the news that like it was the youngest player in the tournament playing the oldest player in the tournament. And that Venus was on like her third French Open or Wimbledon or Grand Slam or whatever the fuck when that little girl was born. So it was like, oh my, you literally grew up watching Venus and Serena. Your whole life they have dominated. I'm like, oh my God. I remember when the Williams sisters were not even a thing.
That's probably like the last level of Mario Tennis.
Well, I don't know shit about Mario Tennis, but maybe.
It's fun.
Okay.
So it was all leading up to this. Like that, like how can you,
right.
Girl, anyways.
It's beautiful. Black girls taking over.
Also, shout out to Halle Bailey, who is not Halle Berry Keeper.
Important note.
The girls were like, how in the good God? Like, sis,
calm down.
Go back and read this
it again.
Just one more time.
Read it with your reading eyes.
Famous for being part of the singing ass duo Chloe and Halle.
And that's right, nigga. They sing down.
Parkwood signees, stars of Freeform's hit comedy drama Grownish.
Yes. And very cute on that show as well.
The younger of the two sisters, I believe.
Yes, Halle's younger.
Just recently announced that she, and it feels so good to say it.
Don't it? Just say it.
It just feels so good to say it. She has been cast as Ariel in the live action CGIS, because I know
whatever they about to do, yeah.
Remake of Disney's The Little Mermaid. Beautiful. I am so full.
Man. As soon as I heard the casting, I said, that's fucking perfect.
Like, it could
not be more perfect.
Better.
Her voice is just so beautiful. That's so pure.
Okay.
It's just adorable. My God, it's perfect casting.
Let's just get into this.
Okay.
Because the other day, I saw them saying that Melissa McCarthy is in talks to play Ursula, which to me means that she's all about, they're just working through the contract.
Okay.
You know, like they're getting her to look at the paperwork with her team and be like, yes, I will sign this.
Right.
Like that to me is what that means, right? So, and I said that and I just rolled my eyes because I'm like, I love Melissa McCarthy down.
She's funny.
Down.
As hell.
Love Melissa McCarthy. I would have preferred personally, and I know a lot of y'all were like, Ursula is black. I'm not sure why you feel that way. Like, Ursula is an octopus lady. Her skin is purple. She was in, like, I think that her design and a lot of her mannerisms was based on a white drag queen named Divine.
Right.
She was voiced by Pat Carroll, I believe was her name, a white woman. So I don't know why people think that Ursula was black or should have been black.
Well, probably because white drag queens got so much of their stuff from black drag queens and the black queer community. That's probably where that's coming from. But Ursula is not black or white or any other race, just like Ariel or any of the rest of them, because it is a fictional tale that most of us learned on a fucking Disney movie. So literally none of them are actual people.
I will go, and I'm sure Melissa McCarthy will make it fun, but I wanted it to be either a Titus.
I would have lived for Titus.
Or Ginger Minge.
I almost called him Titus Andromeda. Titus.
It took me maybe like to the middle of season 2 of Kimmy Schmidt to be like, no.
That man's name is not. Yes.
Andromedon is the fake one.
I would have loved Titus Burgess.
And I think real
in this
Titus's real name has 2 S's on it.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, I thought the Titus would slay and obviously would sing down. I don't know if Ginger Minge can sing, but Ginger Minge just looks like the perfect Ursula to me. Drag Race, get into it. Google Ginger Minge and tell me that bitch don't look like Ursula.
How you spell Minge?
M-I-N-J.
Oh, no wonder. Oh, yes, bitch. That's Ursula. Oh, damn.
A lot of people
especially in this picture with the thin eyebrows and everything. She looks, oh God, yes.
I'm just like,
that would have been, oh man, that would have been a huge look for T.S. Madison.
I would have loved seeing this cartoon character that was based on a queer character played by a queer person. But Disney, fine. Because you know what? Behind the scenes, what they were really saying is, we already got Afro-American Ariel, bitch. Like, there's only so many petitions that we're going to deal with from the right wing. Like, we don't, I'm not even going to deal with it.
Oh, and it's already started. The white people are furious.
That there's like a black Mermaid in the Caribbean Sea.
The white girls are all crying because, oh my God.
And I never expected them to cast a black actress because I believe originally it was Chloe Moretz that was signed on to do that.
Okay. Huh. Well, yes, the white girls are really pissed because they got their hashtag redhead representation from the animated Ariel. And so, this is just very important for white girls with red hair everywhere.
Nobody has hair that red. Nobody has hair that red. Our Ariel was not a ginger because once again, she was a mythical creature that doesn't exist.
Yes.
Like very much the same way octopuses aren't half human-esque.
Right.
And
the way that,
eels don't talk.
The Sea King is not real.
I wonder who's going to voice Flotsam
Sebastian's
and Jetsam.
not real. Ooh, I don't even remember.
The eels.
Oh, okay. So it's been a very long time since I've seen Mermaid. Of course. And a lot of this is a little fuzzy to me.
I've been a queen my whole life. I've seen Little Mermaid so many times. So many times.
Amen. Yeah.
Awkwafina is apparently playing Scuttle.
Okay.
Jacob Tremblay, the seagull, for those of you who don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
That makes sense.
Because the last time you saw Little Mermaid was when you were 2 or where your baby watched it.
Right.
Jacob Tremblay, who I believe is a little white boy from Room, is playing Flounder. No word yet on Sebastian. Please. He doesn't even need to be Jamaican. Pick an island. I don't give a fuck if that nigga is Trini, Bahamian. I don't care if he from Grenada, the Virgin Islands. Nigga, pick one.
Nope,
just pick one. Pick one.
They're not gonna do
it. If you niggas. If you niggas.
They're not
have
gonna.
Somebody come up on here. I would rather Sebastian just doesn't have any kind of an island accent at all.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, I think that's the case.
Hire DC Young Fly or whatever the fuck it is, like one of these other niggas from Atlanta or someplace to do it. I'd rather that than somebody play pretend with a Caribbean voice because I'm so fucking tired of it. There's a plenty of, voice acting talent in the Caribbean or people who are directly from there. Right. Please.
I don't think so.
Please.
No, they're probably going to get Piers Morgan or something just to piss us off. They're like, look, we already gave you a black Ariel, so shut the fuck up and don't ask for shit else.
But look, I don't give a fuck if it's motherfucking Jennifer Tilly doing the goddamn voice.
Now that would be dope.
I would actually
love that.
But as long as it is not someone saying,
not me doing
that.
So not me doing
Don't see where it's wetter. I'm going to, I will get up and walk out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Anyways, congratulations, Halle, sis. I just can't admit, honestly.
This is so great.
A lot of the girls are joking that Beyonce was like, okay, so we're, this is cute. Super excited to be here. Blue, Rumi, the girls, they're all really hype about this Lion King thing. So about that Little Mermaid shit, though.
Yeah. So I'm only doing Lion King.
And you're welcome. And there's no discussion. I don't really want to hear a rebuttal.
I mean, maybe not. But the point remains that Halle is perfect casting for this.
No, that's obviously just a fun joke. To me,
it might be.
They could have had they may have had 8 girls on the line. I honestly could see Halle opening her mouth and then being like, oh, there it is. Everybody go home. Because not only does she have a beautiful voice, they just have that whole golden silver age Disney Renaissance voice down. She sounds like a literal Disney princess.
She actually does. That's why as soon as I heard the news, I was like, I've never heard a more perfect thing. It's fucking perfect.
I just hope that they let her keep the dreads because I really want to see those dreads whipping around in the ocean.
Now, look, if Ariel has dreads, I just don't even. Well, the picture Halle posted, Ariel had straight black hair.
I feel like that was fan art that somebody made
probably
real quick and she
but
just posted it because it's cute. You know what I mean? I do feel like that's concept art.
I don't think they're going to let us have dreads in addition to it. Fine. But I hope. I hope.
I truly hope. And I feel like a lot of companies now are just looking towards us and being like, just here. You know what I'm saying? Do what is the right way to do this. Right. We don't have any ideas. So I'm hoping that somebody in costume or hair design, whatever, is let's keep them dread. Ooh, put some seashells in them and
shit.
Little gold trinkets. And can you imagine her trying to use a comb?
Does this mean to
comb her hair?
But does this mean the rest of the family will be black too? like her sisters and her daddy?
I mean, someone was like, "Oh, so what time is Winston Duke showing up for Triton?"
God.
And I was like, "Oh,
I need to see that."
yum."
Yeah,
I'm into that.
Yes, he has the body for that.
But I could also see them doing that Brandy Cinderella shit where her daddy is Asian and her mama is,
love
Latina. And it's like,
it
whatever.
Don't even matter,
whatever.
Probably so, but that's fine. I just want, all the white girls on the internet to know that, like, you have every other Disney princess except, like, 3 hoes. So please relax. You have every other fucking Disney princess. Like,
I mean, Anika Noni Rose was a frog for about an hour
most
and a half.
of the movie. Right. So, and they have been like, well, they have Tiana. Like, okay, girl.
Do we?
And y'all have everybody except, like, who? Esmeralda, Mulan. Pocahontas.
Which don't even count. I mean, sure.
I mean, no, because Pocahontas was a real person and y'all fucked up her real story.
I mean...
So, no, Pocahontas do not count. You right. But, like, Ariel being a redheaded white girl is not at all a plot point. It has nothing to do with the story.
Yes, absolutely.
So, yes, Ariel can be anybody because she is animated. I just need y'all to know that.
And it's so funny because they always try to be like, well, what if we turned this black character into someone white? And it's almost always a character where their race isn't like an integral part of their story and who they are.
Right.
So many of those characters couldn't possibly be white because it wouldn't make any fucking sense anymore.
Exactly. Because it's like, oh, this is a story about racism. So why would it be a white girl? Why would I just need y'all to think rationally about this and make sure you don't hate on young Halle Bailey because she deserves. It's perfect casting and I know she's going to kill it. But the soundtrack alone. Oh my God.
When this child sings.
It's so beautiful.
Part of your world.
Woo!
I'm already picturing that.
Chile.
You remember? You don't remember. There's that shot where she's singing that in the little grotto or whatever, and she's like swimming upwards. The camera's right above her in this like hole.
I do remember, and the sunlight
and it's like a close up of her hair is like swirling around her.
I do remember that.
Those dreads. I need the dreads. I need to see those dreads whip around.
Oh well, maybe Disney might not give you all that Negro, but this. I'm just so happy for Halle, and I cannot wait. Even though I feel like I'm not going to be a big fan of the live action movies altogether. It's like, I'm excited to see Beyonce. I'm excited to see Halle.
It's all absolutely, them selling nostalgia and,
and making
classics.
Millions.
It's like, even if you're not like super excited, a lot of us are just like, let me go see what this looks like because I am a fan of the original. You almost feel like you owe it to your fandom
almost
to go and look at it sometimes, because I didn't get up for Dumbo and a couple of the other girls.
Oh, yeah.
But, I've got plenty of Lion King tickets.
Well, I mean, it's Beyonce, so I'm fucking going.
And honestly, the Lion King film looks good to me. Like, we'll see what happens, but I doubt I'm not going to go and watch this movie and be like, oh my God, so much better than when Jason Weaver was in it. Like, I'm sure that I'm always going to love the classic way more.
Of course.
But this will be, I know I'm going to be in there crying.
I'm absolutely going to be like, probably Thursday, like the day it comes out, probably just like, hello girls, here I am, ready. Have my tickets to see Beyonce. Thank you so much.
To the person also, let me find their name on here because they're worth it. Who pointed out, like, someone said something like, oh, now I see why they casted a white woman as Ursula. White woman literally hating on a black girl and stealing her actual voice. Sire Leo Lamar? Nigga, that shit was funny. You know who you are. I was like, you're on to something.
I keep getting the Disney version mixed up with the real version, which is a lot creepier and like more depressing. Oh, you mean the one
written by Hans
Christian Andersen? Yeah, that one is a lot darker.
It is.
And so I keep forgetting that like Ursula was jealous of the Little Mermaid. In the original story, that is not the case.
Yeah.
So you're right. It's just like a white woman to be like, oh, so you fell in love with a man, huh? Well, bitch, I want that gorgeous ass voice you have. And then you can go up there and try to be in love with him. Like I could see that happening.
Because Disney's Ariel got her a white dress and a yacht ride. Like they had like a literal cruise.
No. That is not what happened in the original story, girls.
In the Disney one, her hair was done. The fish got her, some sparkles on her dress and things like that.
No. No, it's none of that, girl.
Flounder was the maid of honor and everything was lit.
No, that's not how it goes.
The original Ariel.
Original Ariel, first of all, traded her voice for legs, but the deal was that like it would constantly feel like she was being stabbed and her
because she didn't know how to walk on him. And
right, and that if he married somebody else, she would turn into seafoam.
Yep,
and
he did.
Yeah. Disney really cleaned that shit up for y'all.
Like, this is really cute. Couple of things we want to go over.
And I just want to say, in them old ass illustrations, Ariel has brown hair. Her name is not even Ariel. Her name is the Little Mermaid. And she has brown hair. So I just want all the redhead white girls to shut up about this.
That's a lot of Disney movies and other animated movies and stuff that were targeted to kids and based on like old fairy tales. You can say that about so many. You can say that shit about like Snow White, Sleeping Beauty for sure.
All that shit.
Pocahontas is real, actual ass life. Hercules.
And she didn't look nothing like that cartoon girl. Or Vanessa
really like
Williams.
damn near all. I mean, so there. You know, but
this is great for Hallie.
Yes, I'm excited.
So yes,
I can't wait to see this black
girl
Little Mermaid, and Mulan is probably going to be lit too.
Oh, it probably will.
I hope they get Eddie Murphy to do Mushu again, the way they got James Earl Jones.
I knew who you was thinking of. Yeah,
again. Woo, I'm real happy.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay, so this week in our pop culture segment, which is titled "Hot Tops Amid Bottom Night's Cream."
It didn't have to be cream, though. Gross.
Lots to unpack.
Okay.
God. Everybody is just
acting up, man. It's the summertime.
Fuck.
Nobody has any chill.
Not to discuss. That's fine, though. We have 2 shows this week.
Yeah. You can narrow it down for sure.
I mean, I'm saying. So, first and foremost, Lil Nas X. I love that his tweet here says, "Some of y'all already know. Some of y'all don't care. Some of y'all not gonna fuck with me no more. But before this month ends," that was Pride Month.
Right.
Which, thank God.
Had enough.
I want y'all to listen.
No more rainbows.
Closely to Closure, one of the songs in his EP 7 that was out recently, which is apparently all about him coming out and living in his sexual identity, which I don't think that he says is gay explicitly. So I'm not going to assume anything.
Okay.
But he's in the community. He also pointed out that he thought that he made it obvious by this rainbow of lights in the city landscape that is on the cover of his EP, which, nigga, wasn't nobody looking at that. I mean, I wasn't.
You made it obvious by being a barb.
I mean, that was really...
I just knew right then. So when he said this, I was like, wait, who actually did not know?
I don't.
I honestly thought that he was like openly out, I guess. Like it literally never occurred to me that he was anything other than gay or bi or queer or whatever.
Even if he was, I would venture to say that probably the majority of his current following was not aware of that.
That blows my mind. It really does. I mean, but at the same time, like, straight people on Instagram have been reacting ever since, and they have been in their feelings about this.
Who hasn't? The gays. Oh, well, that's not really true. But the gays have been less surprised and moved by the statement. Of course.
I mean, right. But, all right. I mean, I guess some of y'all was shocked. I certainly was not.
It's funny to me because this is like the one song on that EP I don't like. So that's probably why I didn't catch it when I first listened to it, because I don't think I listened to much of it. I
haven't even listened to... I didn't know he had an EP out. I'm going to be real with you.
Really?
I'm just streaming Old Town Road because the white gays are pissed. The Swifties, they are so mad because he keeps blocking her from getting #1 twice now.
She's having a rough week.
She's having a rough era because Old Town Road keeps blocking her shit.
Oh, wow. Let me go home and stream that again.
I think that's on repeat right now.
I mean...
It's just on silent on my fucking computer right now.
Yeah, no, his EP is out. It sounds like music a young nigga would be making.
Okay.
Cardi B is on there somewhere.
All right.
Only one of the songs has an explicit icon next to it on Apple. So.
I bet. Because he knows who's listening to that shit, and it's the children.
It is just like, I'm sure Kids Bop has already sent the paperwork.
Had to.
Like, just sign here on the dotted.
I don't know if anything will hit these kids like Old Town Road. has though. Like,
it's literally they're back that
they're
ass up.
obsessed. Yes, it is. They cannot get enough of that
Old
shit.
Town Road is baby nuck if you butt.
Yeah.
Like
as soon as that beat drops, they're going ape shit as soon as they move, bitch. They are losing it as soon as that shit starts.
Well, God bless all of the homophobic family members, or I should say the homophobic parents who don't believe that they're homophobic but have a problem with their kids liking that song now. Because I know you out there somewhere. Don't be ashamed of yourself. Just get some counseling.
I just really, again, if you knew he was a barb, I don't know how you didn't know he was gay, but this is just so fucking foolish. Like, what you gonna do? Boycott this song because the boy is gay? You have to boycott all of music. I mean, I don't think there's no music you can listen to because queers are involved in all of it.
I haven't really seen much like ire. I haven't.
Good. I've seen a couple of ignorant comments, but
yes,
I was just shocked that so many people did not already know.
He also has a very great sense of humor, so it doesn't really seem to be...
He's really good at the internet.
Yes.
Because he's a barb. And so he has been trolling people all his life. So you can't troll him. He takes the jokes and he runs with it. No, he's great. Like, I truly admire the way that he has adjusted to his fame and the way he handles his internet presence and all that. It's great. It's much healthier than the way a lot of these grown people do.
I love when he said something like, next nigga say something disrespectful is getting kissed.
Yeah.
I was like, I like him. I like him.
I saw a tweet that said, just because I'm gay don't mean I'm not straight. I'm like, nigga, what?
I also saw him say, just because I'm gay don't mean I'm gay or something like that. He's literally having
just really good at the internet.
The time of his life.
He is, and he should be.
Good for him.
Absolutely. Live it up.
Oh God, what else is on here? It's a lot. This got dark. Let me see if I can.
Oh no.
Oh, this is all awful.
Dark like Kim Kardashian putting that shit on her legs. Dark or.
What are you talking
Okay,
about?
I'm glad you didn't see it. That bitch came out with some new body makeup and she was showing it on Instagram. She was like showing her legs as she was walking and she fully looked like darker than Beyonce.
You're a liar.
I'm not lying. I am not lying to you. I'm like, bitch, this is blackface, actually.
No, you're lying.
No, I'm absolutely not. No, don't do that. You don't want to see it.
No, I do.
She's just walking. It's just her legs. Like, you don't see her face, or I didn't see her face. In
Girl, get the fuck out of here.
I told you them legs is damn near my color. A mess. Bitch, please. Who the fuck?
It's just,
she does it on purpose.
My mind can't get any further blown by how blatant it is.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That whole family.
So Moniece was on the internet talking about congratulations to April Jones on Marion's baby mama and ex. And her baby father, Little Fizz, who is the light-skinned nigga for you, the Chico DeBarge-esque nigga from B2K.
Right.
And congratulating them for apparently being a couple and talking about, it was just a very passive-aggressive,
oh Lord,
you know, shout out to you niggas for, you know, fucking, and I'm not upset about it, but watch your motherfucking mouth, bitch. Like, it was along those lines.
Oh, girl.
She did at one point literally say, watch your motherfucking mouth.
Of course, I'm sure she did. But like, girl, you're the one talking.
Apparently there was like a photo of them that came out together where they were in the bed, and you know, there were like some rumors, I think before the Millennium Tour. God bless that.
What?
There were rumors that they were like messing around with each other because the kids spent the holiday together. Like, he went to wherever she lived and they stayed together for Christmas. And I just remember this being like a rumor around the end of last year.
Okay, I never heard this one.
So April was on Instagram Live where everything goes to die. And she, at one point she's like, come on, you want to come on camera? Come on. And I thought she was talking to a puppy. I really did.
Or a baby.
Or a child. Yeah, one of the kids. And onto the camera comes Fizz, looking all but comfortable.
Oh,
and wow. This was my favorite part. April says twice,
okay,
life is to be lived, people. I was like, what?
What does that have to do with you fucking your baby daddy's best
friend
maybe not best friend, but like bandmate and all. Like, this is this
band.
real, or is this an elaborate Mona Scott storyline set up?
It could be, because let me tell you something. Omarion checked in while all of this was going on. The doll is in Jamaica, popping and locking in the streets.
Well.
Somewhere, I don't know if that nigga was in Montego Bay. I don't know where he was at. Dancing for Little Saint.
I just can't imagine. I can't imagine that
Saint.
I can't imagine that they toured together knowing that like Omarion's baby mama was sleeping with his. Like, it just that don't make sense.
I honestly feel like them niggas didn't see each other up until it was time to start the show.
Wow.
I don't like.
Yeah.
Because
maybe.
it just seems like they kind of just hated each other the whole time, but money.
Well, this just seems, if this is real, then it just seems extra trifling. Like, of all the dicks in the world, of all the jazz in the whole world,
there are a lot.
You had to go with Omarion's baby mama. Like, you had to pick Fizz of all niggas.
I feel like Hollywood's the next one in the rotation, though, right? For Love and Hip Hop.
Oh hell, I don't know.
I don't know where they're at right now.
Me
I think
either.
they're in Atlanta.
I haven't watched Love and Hip Hop in a month of Sundays. No, sir.
So, who knows? Because I know that there was a storyline with Lil Fizz where he was fucking a girl from so
Oh wait,
I got tired when Moniece was dating that white lesbian, and then the white lesbian had the stripper best friend.
Yes, he was dating her,
and then he started fucking with that girl after Moniece and the girl had beef or whatever. And so Moniece was like, "So of all of the bitches you could have guessed,
I'm mad. I do remember this.
You had to pick
the bitch I hate,
my girlfriend's best friend that I hate, and the feelings mutual." Mm-hmm. So.
But I mean, I also didn't ever really think that was real. I didn't really think Moniece and that girl were in a relationship.
They went on another show together.
See, and that's why I don't be thinking the shit is real.
They went on a marriage boot camp reality stars or one of those things.
I did see, you mean Fizz and that girl?
Yeah.
I did see them on marriage boot camp, and I was like, what the
Why?
fuck is this?
Why?
Right, y'all not married, y'all not even together.
You've been together for all of like 10 months,
They just wanted anybody who would agree to go on that show, because the cast itself was dismal overall. But that show had some fantastic moments.
Oh, it did. I will never forget Soulja Boy almost getting his
when
ass.
When Soulja Boy almost got Jessica Dime almost waxed that little nigga.
Wow, what an icon!
Woo, man, so good.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know or really care. You know what I'm saying? Do what it is that you guys need to do. My only thing is, I'm gonna be extra tired if I have to hear about some storyline where they start arguing about who he's fucking, and he's saying why you can't mind your business, and et cetera, and but the kids, and blah, blah, blah. Because you've already done that like 3-4 times already. And at this point, my God, do you go out? Do you have
nope.
Do you know anybody?
Show them.
You can absolutely keep that drama to yourself. And, maybe Unsung will be out. Still another 10, another 15, and you can discuss it then, very documentary style.
No damn Unsung.
But I don't.
No, this is y'all's Unsung. And that's why that's why I don't believe it's real, because why wouldn't you find somebody outside of the Mona Scott world to be with? It just don't make sense.
I wouldn't even really want to, if I was on Love and Hip Hop or any of the other ones, I wouldn't even want to shake hands with you outside of work if you have them on a check. I wouldn't even, and that's no shade. I would just want to be like, I don't know what you look.
I don't know how you gonna play this.
I just want to meet some real people that don't want to be on TV and are so okay with,
that might
their
be
job.
hard in LA, period.
You got the points tonight. You do have the points tonight.
Oh, man.
Speaking of these reality shows, Bow Wow is currently on Growing. I was about to say Battle All Stars. I don't know why I was going to say that.
I don't know what that means even.
What? Oh, that was that Bad Girls Club show. Is it called Battle All Stars?
Battle? Oh, my God.
Oh, whatever. They had like a real
they
world
did used to let
rules
them bitch
challenge
fight.
for the Bad Girls Club,
Yes.
something like that. I didn't even really watch that. I don't know. Anyways, he's on Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta, and right now they're currently going over the domestic dispute between him. Remember when he was up on there looking like Child's Play 3?
I do.
Because he got into it with his now ex-girlfriend. He did. He did.
Okay.
He looked like Charles Lee Ray.
Oh, all right.
He absolutely
So, okay.
So he's on there now, continuing the story that his ex, Kiyomi, was incredibly drunk and accusing him of things and being violent. And it's all her fault, even though there was footage that came out of them arguing on the elevator.
Oh, right.
And that girl was simply standing and minding her fucking business. He's literally yelling in her face, snatching things out of her hand.
I forgot about that.
All of the above. So Kiyomi, I guess, has been up to date on the show.
Of course.
She took to Twitter to air some grievances for Bow Wow and his mama. So,
oh God,
because she was on there, and I watched it too. She was like, she wasn't really like blame. Maybe she was blaming the girl. She absolutely was like blaming the girl, because she was essentially saying like, you like, we told you to stay away from her, and you could have just like drove away, like essentially like running with the idea that she was the aggressor,
okay,
and all he needed to do was stay away from her like everybody told him to, which, I mean, they did tell him to leave this girl alone like
well,
ages and ages and ages ago before the actual, dispute between the two of them. But that doesn't mean anything.
Right. Doesn't mean that she like beat his ass.
Just because his face is scratched up and he has a bite on his side. In fact, having a bite on your side to me implies like,
like on the side of your body?
Yes, like he lifted up his shirt and he had like a huge bite mark and bruise on his side.
Oh my God. Yikes.
So this is one of those things where it's just like, there's this side, there's facts. And
okay, right.
Nobody was
facts?
really there.
Okay.
But Kiyomi says that the reason he was even arrested too was because she also had bruises and scratches on her. She says that was not the only time that he had put hands on her. She also accused him of hitting her while she was pregnant, which caused her to lose a baby.
No.
She says that he and his mother knew that he was beating on her numerous times, and she covered for him the whole entire time. So she's, standing up for herself and saying, if you niggas, she literally said, if you niggas believe that lame ass niggas did nothing, you need to be in a mental home with him and his mama. So,
well, girl, I don't know what to believe, but if both of y'all got arrested, then it does sound like both of y'all were bruised and, battered or beat up or what the hell ever happened. But that whole beating a baby and or beating her while she's pregnant and causing a miscarriage, that is like way more serious. And I guess just super disturbing. Like,
Erica Mena chimed in and said, trust, believe her. Erica Mena once dated Bow Wow. I think they dated for like a little while too.
Right. Weren't they engaged?
I think so.
And he broke it off because I don't remember the details.
Right. I can't get that deep into Bow Wow lore.
Me
I don't know.
Not lore.
I really don't.
Well,
but she said on the Shade Room, trust, believe her. She said, I'm the tough girl, so my story was never the truth, but y'all see how round 4 played out. I don't. Then she says, which I didn't like this, but she said he broke Sierra's finger years ago, so this has been ongoing.
What?
I just feel like that's Sierra's business to tell.
Yeah,
am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. Like, that's absolutely Sierra's business. I bet Sierra's
That's so many exes ago.
Shut
She's
the fuck
happy.
up.
Right. Like,
that lady married with 2 kids now, living in Seattle and enjoying her best life. Like, girl, talk about what happened to you.
Yeah, talk about what happened to you.
Don't talk about what happened to me. Like, that is not for the fucking world to know. So that is tacky, but yikes, man. It's one thing when one person says it. It's another when 2 say it. And don't let 3 or more chime in. But
I don't know,
I
man.
hate these stories. I hate domestic violence stories because it's like, what can you even say other than everybody needs to keep their fucking hands to themselves and not, like, it just should not be this hard to not hit or punch or slap
when
your
I was
partner.
watching the show too, a lot of what he was saying, I felt like it kind of omit things that either of them could have done to easily spark a physical altercation. And that's why when I get into like a heated thing with anybody, I like to just leave. You know what I'm saying? I just like to get away from the situation because it's so easy for somebody to say something or for any kind of body language to be in close enough proximity to where now my natural reaction is to feel like I gotta like defend myself.
Yeah.
See, and like you look at the very like the footage of them on the elevator with her like him all in her face and grabbing keys. Not to say that, you know, I'm not placing blame because, again, I have no idea what happened in this situation. Right. But you could have your finger in somebody's face and the next thing I know, I swat it out and now we fight.
Well, yeah, because if you put your finger in my face, you telling me you want to fight.
I mean, so...
That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
I'm just like...
If you don't know how to argue with your partner in a way that is not demeaning to them as a human being, then you need to get some fucking help.
I feel like
you should be able to handle disagreements like grown-ups. Grow the fuck up. Get some fucking help.
Speaking of which, let's talk about Chris Brown.
Oh my God. Woo, the men are just... Did any men do anything good this week? Is there a single man?
Steve Harvey's paying for 8 students' tuition or something like that.
Oh, that's good. Okay. That is very nice. All right. Thank you for that.
Chris Brown has a new Bible-length album that is anything but biblical. I don't know who. Like, I'm not listening. Nigga.
I'm not looking that up.
500 goddamn picks a couple.
No, you got me fucked up.
Whatever happened to a deluxe edition?
I haven't even listened to a Chris Brown album since Royalty. Because he put all them sex songs on an album named after his daughter.
I didn't even listen to Royalty.
I listened through it like once and I was just like, I definitely thought there would be more like, you know, dedication to your daughter and all the ways that you feel like you've grown as a man since you've become a father. And that is not what that album gave.
I feel like maybe the last Chris Brown Chris Brown album I listened to in full was Fame.
I mean, all right.
I'm actually interested in
I didn't even know he had a new album out.
Oh yeah, he's been all over the place trying to promote it. 2011. Yeah, I definitely know. Yes, album. I listened to this whole thing. That was the last album that I listened to in full was Fame. Heartbreak on a Full Moon. I looked at all 7,000 of these goddamn songs and was like, if it's for you, cool.
Never even heard of that. Or X.
And did I listen to X? Wait. Which one?
So what's this new one called? Indigo?
Yeah, no, I didn't listen to this whole thing. Are you laughing at the cover? I knew it. I knew you were laughing at the cover.
What the fuck is that?
It's very Chris Brown.
What the fuck is that? Are those monsters in like outer space? Is it like an outer space junkyard?
I feel like he's very anime-esque and he likes to give I don't know nigga fairy tale fantasy sci-fi sci-fi, I don't know, whatever.
I really hate it. Wow.
He has a song on here called Need a Stack. One of the lines on the song has been drawing a whole lot of attention. Because he says something to the effect of, I only want to fuck the black bitches with the nice hair. Mm. So it's a lot of black women asking, hey, Chris, the fuck is your goddamn problem? The fuck is you talking about?
That's a real question.
And, of course, wouldn't be talking about good old Chris Maurice if things didn't get worse. He decided to respond to people by saying, y'all tripping. Y'all bitches don't want to fuck the nigga with the fucked up teeth, do you? Only bitches upset is the uglies, not the black queens.
What?
There's more. Weird ass angry people. Sincerely from the bottom of my balls. Which, that's funny. I don't give a fuck. No, I'm going to use that at some point. I don't give a fuck about y'all negative booty face ass bitches. Wow. I'm start giving away free.
You know what he meant.
It's like, no.
Yes,
no. sometimes I be reading these and I feel like
Yeah, no, I get it.
I'm glitched.
It's me in the inbox every week. I understand. I understand.
I had a Golden Girls reference there, but I'm going to skip over it. I'm start giving away free lace fronts for all you weird females with the skid row edges and low self-esteem. Aside from that, hop off these nuts. Half y'all look like the Budweiser frogs. So please don't come with the bullshit. I will fire that ass up and roast the hell out you overly sensitive duckhead ass weirdos. Mature.
Wait. That's not the end?
No.
Oh my God. Skid Row edges is funny though. That's funny.
I mean,
it ain't right, but it's funny.
So, Tokyo Vanity, who is another Love and Hip Hop alum, as well as a rapper from the Louisiana.
Yep.
She said that she had witnessed experiences twice where Chris Brown was not allowing dark-skinned women in his sections at the clubs.
Mm-hmm. And that's not the first time I've heard that about Chris Brown.
Actually, that's not the first time I've heard that about him either.
Yeah.
But, we can sort of just look at Chris Brown's surroundings and kind of give like, oh, clearly. Diz the Bam, she...
It really should be her name.
I really want that to just be it.
Yeah.
Why can't that just be? All she do is like maybe put an E behind. Anyways,
I love it.
Whatever. Like all of it now, there's this whole back and forth and debate about, Chris Brown disrespecting black women and, black men and their overall disrespect of black women. And then black men are saying, well, but y'all don't have a problem talking about when you don't like this kind of guy and that kind of guy and rage and war of the sexes and et cetera, et cetera. And I just want some fries.
Right. Can I have a side of cheese as well? Delicious.
Because I'm a little hungry.
I mean, this argument the internet has been engaging in for years, and the conversation itself has been going on even longer than that. So I really think it's obvious that the deeper issue here is that Chris Brown is colorist, perhaps, or it seems pretty certain that is the case.
But it's just like...
I would not have thought nice hair meant good hair unless he said I only fuck the black bitches with the nice hair. If he had said I only fuck bitches with nice hair, then I would have assumed he meant I only fuck bitches who have like expensive wigs, weaves, or they take good care of their hair. Like I wouldn't have thought he meant like good hair by it unless he specified black girls.
I see what you mean. Mm-hmm.
Like I would have never thought that. So this is a situation where Chris Brown could have just not, and it would have avoided all this.
My nigga.
He could have just not.
I'm just like, you could have this is why I feel like this nigga, and I know we've said this a million times, does not have people in his corner that are like, here. Yeah. This is the way to go. Like, no.
There are no black women reviewing your music before you put it out.
Grabbing them by the shoulders. No, turn. This way. There you go.
Let me just help you a little bit.
You could have lied.
Yes.
You could have came out and lied to avoid unnecessary bullshit and just been like, that line could have easily been flipped, because for whatever reason there seems to be more people seem to be more upset about him talking about black women's hair than him saying black bitches. So I mean, either way, he probably could have still flipped this and been like, I meant this, and taken it into that direction to come back and be like, only bitches mad about this is you ugly ass bitches that look like the frog and gremlin and all this other
shit. And the reaction lets me know that they were right. You meant black girls with quote unquote good hair. I know that now because you sat there and attacked them on and on for their looks like that has anything to do with the fucking argument. Christopher, why? It could have easily been I only fuck fine bitches with nice hair. And that could, I really think anybody would have blinked twice.
You could have said nothing. But I feel like for me...
Or you could have just let people be mad and not done all this on Instagram. Because it's just not... What's the fucking point?
Like, you made it way worse. I feel like for me, this is where cynicism kicks in. Because I feel like, yes, on one hand, someone who still has such a large platform like Chris Brown, it is important for him to understand colorism, his own, and colorism in general,
Right.
and to express things in a way that are healthy, because he does I mean, I would say most of the people that's still funding his shit or spending money on his shit are young black girls.
Absolutely.
Regardless of hair of any kind,
Yes.
shade of any kind, and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So it just, on one end, I totally understand wanting for Chris Brown to be responsible with that type of discussion. On the other end, I feel like, if I were a Chris Brown fan, a black girl with whatever kind of hair, I just couldn't picture me trying to convince Chris Brown to be interested in me or anybody that looks like me.
Right.
It is very obvious, as we discussed, I feel like last week, that you like, Blasian girls, girls
You
that...
like that hashtag ambiguous shit.
Right. Girls that get their jewelry at the fucking swap meet,
That's right.
but they look like they're from somewhere else.
Right.
Like,
oh, she exotic. Where you
right.
from?
Oh, I hate that term. So
ugly.
But picture, were you not talking about Barack Obama?
I mean, honestly, I saw that Twitter thread where the girl called him out, and a lot of people were like, sis, this man is a known domestic abuser. He has cut the fuck up nonstop for literal years. And this line is where you decided to like protest and be like, hey, Chris Brown, I have a problem. Like, I had a problem with Chris Brown way long the fuck time ago. So when I heard about this, I was just like, of course, Chris Brown is still up to his dumbass nigga shit. And I moved right on with my day. You should have known this about Chris Brown by now, girl.
I can barely listen to a lot of the songs that Chris Brown puts out that aren't like...
I literally don't listen to them.
Some R&B, because he always does this like... I'm going to get the aunties with this one. Like he always does one of those out of 70 songs on his albums that all sound like whatever rap shit and, I'm putting my dick in your eye socket and whatever the fuck else. And, so hearing this line, it was just like, oh yeah, that sounds very much like something that Chris Brown would say.
Yeah, it does.
I just don't see me trying to convince this nigga to think otherwise. If you were spending money there, you know not to. Because the funny thing to me is that Chris Brown has also like full on snapped on fans before when his albums don't sell the way that he wants them to, or his tours don't sell the way that he wants them to. But then he's literally calling his fans ugly because they're mad.
Well, I just saw on Google that he's projected to be number one. So I guess it's not album sales that makes him mad this time. It's just the fact that you dark-skinned girls had the nerve to like point this out. Man, I have not heard a Chris Brown song since These Hoes Ain't Loyal. I really have not. And it's been even longer than that since I gave a fuck about anything he did. Y'all should have known that this nigga was a scumbag by now. But now that you know, I hope you adjust your spending habits accordingly. When this nigga announced his ticket sales and all of a sudden 70% of the audience ain't there because he done, fucking offended them on Instagram, then I think he will know. Y'all either gonna buy his shit, stream his shit, or you not.
What you not gonna do is get him to genuinely feel no differently.
Right. Especially because he cusses y'all out every time he's presented with a valid critique. He goes in on y'all. Like, he went in on these girls in, I guess, multiple posts or multiple paragraphs. That is so fucked up. For just saying, hey, Chris, this hurts my feelings. Like, what do you mean by nice hair? What is not nice hair? Especially because niggas love to point out what they want in women when they do not have that exact same damn thing. And I don't know what Chris Brown's hair texture is like, but I feel like that is a very fair question to ask of him. And the fact that he reacts like that lets me know he has done zero growth, and y'all need to decide how you're going to support or not from this point on.
I mean, his literal mama was like, why y'all so goddamn mad?
I knew she was trash when she was parading him around on Larry King and all that shit on his apology tour. I knew his mama was garbage then.
Literal mama is like, y'all are the problem. So
both of them
who the
need
fuck
therapy.
is going to tell him different?
They need therapy real bad. His
They
mama and him. Real bad.
They won't get it.
Well, but they really should.
Well,
y'all got all the money
Iyanla.
and access in the... No, not.
I want them to go on
Iyanla. I'm talking about a licensed
I want them to go on Iyanla.
mental health professional, somebody with credentials.
I really want them to go on Iyanla.
No, preferably a PhD or an MD. No.
Iyanla.
Not somebody who went to a 2-weekend long retreat.
I just feel like you don't have the vision that I have here.
I see the vision. Iyanla gonna pull out her bullshit arts and crafts and have these niggas doing dumb
What's the problem?
ass activities. She gonna make Chris dress up like Tyrese and Baby Boy, like in the womb, and they're gonna have to reenact their birth scene.
Yes. What's the problem? I absolutely need to see this.
A real doctor needs to help those people very much.
Iyanla can get a real doctor on site for this episode.
Oh, God.
Like someone to reference.
I'm mad that it would make incredible television, but they need real therapy.
Yeah.
But it would make, you are right.
But I kind of don't care if he gets it. Like, I don't.
I mean, I can't be worried about people
that I gave Chris Brown a red scent.
Right. I mean, there's that. I literally have not even heard any of his music, so I can't boycott somebody I don't
Chris
support.
Brown, and like sometimes if I forget my headphones and I'm in the lift, you know,
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Oh, Negro, let me put it on Power 105."
Oh yeah, they do.
And then
I may have heard a Chris Brown song and did not know it was Chris Brown. I'm good for that. I'm good for not knowing which one of them little kids is singing something, but I doubt it.
I'm at that phase too.
His voice is kind of distinctive. So.
You know what I thought like yesterday? We are now at the age where just songs that I feel like aren't even old, but I guess really came out when I was in high school. Yeah. They're just using those beats. Yep. Not sampling them, just using the beat. Because I heard that fucking Sweetie song.
Which one? Oh, the one with
that's like Petey Pablo's beat or something?
The one with
is
Petey
it Freakily?
Pablo. Yeah, I think so. It is, right?
I want to say it is.
I think I only heard that song once, but it is a Petey Pablo beat, whichever song it is.
I hear it all the time, and child, the little white girls even love it. So Sweetie is onto something, I guess, with that. But her other song that was real popular was the one that took Kaya's fucking beat.
That's right.
That fucking, what's her name? Kehlani slayed her own.
Oh, Kehlani did out-rap her on her own.
Kehlani came to eat.
She sure did.
I was like,
she sure did.
This girl just took the Petey Pablo beat and just rapped over it. And I know the thing that blew my dick about it was I was
oh my God.
I know that there are kids in high school right now that probably thinks this is Sweetie's beat.
Yep, probably do.
The same thing with the other one.
Yep. And you know what? If you point it out to them, you're old. And shut up, Grandpa. Why are you even on the internet?
I reject all of that. I reject it.
As you should.
I feel like they still play Freaky League sometimes if you're at a good party.
I mean, I'm sure they do, but what does that matter to the youth?
I won't take this disrespect.
Well, I don't know what choice you have because they don't give a shit about your old ass feelings. Yep.
That's it for the high tops today. Let's take a break and we'll come right back. Okay, so quick fact. If everyone bought one used item instead of new for a year, we would save 5.7 billion pounds of CO2 emissions.
That's a lot of pounds.
I mean, many. That's why we love ThredUp. It's the world's largest online consignment and thrift store. They're on a mission to get people to think secondhand first. Look, I care about my environment. With up to 90% off on trend brands like Reformation, Nike, Free People. It's easy to stay stylish and sustainable on a budget. Plus, ThredUp is offering our listeners a special offer for an extra 30% off your first order when you go to thredup.com/read. That's 30% off their already discounted prices.
Yes, and it really is like much cheaper than retail. I got a bunch of like summer clothes. I just did not feel like spending, brand new money on a bunch of summer clothes that I'm only going to wear for 8 weeks because New York don't really have a summer like that. So I'm like, why don't I just go on ThredUp and spend way less and have the clothes I need while it's hot girl summer. And it's just like, it's absolutely perfect for stuff like that. I know a lot of y'all are going to be getting ready to like send your kids back to school and all that. There's all kind of clothes on ThredUp. Definitely go check them out. For a limited time, they're offering our listeners an extra 30% off your first order. All you got to do is go to thredup.com/read. That is on top of the already low prices. So hurry up and take the advantage. It's thredup.com/READ for an extra 30% off today. Terms apply, but yeah, go get yourself something that's new to you and not expensive. Amen. Let's get back to the show.
Okay, we're back. It's time for listener letters.
Yes, send your questions to asktheread@gmail.com. We may read them aloud on the show. Our first question comes from Cartel. I made that up.
Okay.
Cartel's a straight man.
All right.
He says very nice things in this first paragraph. I'm not going to read those. And then he says, I have a very good friend of 30 years who is a white, out and proud gay man.
Mm-hmm.
He's also quite affluent, and he operates in a world almost entirely of other rich white gay men, and all of them exclusively date men of color from disadvantaged backgrounds and communities. This friend holds many right-leaning opinions from his upbringing because we're both from the Deep South. And those opinions border on being outright classist and racist and also kind of homophobic. He feels embarrassed by louder and more activist parts of the LGBTQ community and often says some truly heinous shit about the trans community.
Oh, my God.
I keep trying to explain to him that, yes, while he is gay, being a white and rich cisgender man insulates him to many of the hardships that the rest of the LGBTQ world experiences. And also, it's more than a little bit questionable that in light of all the things he believes, the men he dates are all poor and Black or Latino. But he dismisses me because I'm straight and says I don't understand and asks, how can I be racist if I like them? I know in my heart that he's not racist, but he also has zero understanding of how privileged, yes, he is, and biased work in the world. Am I missing something, or am I fighting a lost cause and trying to get through to him? I think there's hope because once upon a time, I had a lot of bullshit opinions on the LGBTQ community, but I got older and smarter and realized I was a fucking idiot. And I figured that shit out while not even being a member of that community. Thanks again. Much success on the upcoming TV show, Cartel. Woo.
I hate your friend.
Yeah, because he's honestly, when we complain about rich white gays, it is exactly this man. It is exactly this man.
I be talking about the rich one, the middle class. Look, you should be ashamed to be gay and have a straight friend that is more tolerant.
Yes, you really should. That's sad, sir.
Wow. You have a white, straight guy friend that has to school you on being a bigot?
No, I think Cartel is Black.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, Cartel's Black. He just has a white friend.
Oh, I don't know why I misheard that.
No,
okay.
The friend is white, but he's Black. So I guess because he's a Black man, he's probably
that definitely puts a lot of things into perspective.
Right. Like, now I understand how you got it. But the fact that a Black straight man has to tell your white gay ass about all the ways that you are like actually discriminatory against your own community. And then I just hate that it's so typical. It's so typical for rich, white, cis, gay men to act like this towards the rest of the community.
All it takes is a little bit of money and access, and marginalized people will show you that many of them don't really want equality. They just want white privilege. They just want the same, access and sort of, I would say rights, but it's more like cheats.
There you go.
The same cheat codes that white straight men have been using all of the time to get ahead and to get away with fuckery. So, I mean, this doesn't even almost shock me.
Right.
I don't really have any advice for getting through to him or being his friend anymore because I hate him and I don't want you guys to be friends. So fuck him. This is kind of connected a bit to something that I'm going to read later.
Oh, okay.
But it just doesn't shock me whatsoever. All it does is disgust me.
Right. It is... I hope your read is about what happened at Stonewall.
Oh, it is.
Okay, great. Because disgusting.
Can you?
No, we're not doing this. We're not doing
Fathom.
It can wait. I think that your friend dismissing you because you're straight and says that you don't understand because of that, or asks you how he can be racist because he is like sexually attracted to men of color. Like, these are all things that are easily refuted if he's willing to listen. It sounds like he's not even willing to listen to this coming from you. And so there's probably nothing you can say to get through to him. So it's really going to be up to you whether you decide that you want to be friends with this homophobic, transphobic gay man. Because he's definitely the type. I'm sure he has like a really good job and he probably hates the gays who are out here in booty shorts and, rainbow tassels on their nipples. And it's just like, you know what this made me think of, honestly? That man in San Francisco or LA, wherever it was, who like serves on the city council, and two poor black men ended up dead in his house. Mm-hmm. It makes me think of that. It makes me think of that type of like rich white gay. Exactly that. So, I mean, I would just...
And if you were gay, he would like say the opposite.
He would dismiss you anyway.
Right. Because if you're gay and black and you call out a gay, like white guys or a gay white person's racism, then it becomes, I'm not even racist. I'm gay. Like, I know what it feels like to do. Like, they feel like they can't be homophobic because they're gay.
Right.
They feel like they can't be racist because they're marginalized.
I know what it's like to be discriminated against.
I'm oppressed.
Right. Okay, you can be oppressed and you can also be the oppressor. You can be both, because having like one intersection that is not the default or the majority does not mean that you don't hold privileged position in other ways. Like, I am black and a woman and queer, but I am also cisgender and educated and come from an educated family and not broke. Like, there are all kinds, and able-bodied. Like, I have all these privileges as well as like these societal disadvantages. Like, it literally can be both. And if he is not willing to hear that, then I just wouldn't be friends with him no more. I know you hate him.
I do. I don't like him.
You hate him so much.
I just feel like on top of that, it is full time to cut out this I'm not racist, I'm not etc. because I'm not actively mean to these types of people.
That doesn't mean
if you're perpetuating racism,
say it.
Even by like lack of acknowledging it, whether in you or someone close to you or period, you're just as bad. Honey, we can't cross over, to freedom ourselves.
Right.
We've done all that we can.
Yes.
There have to be more of you saying to y'all people, no, this is wrong.
And they don't care.
This exists. And they don't give a fuck because it does not affect them.
Exactly.
I wish I could remember this brother's name on, let me see if I can find their pictures. On this new, they're doing the Real World on Facebook Watch now. It's in Atlanta.
No. Oh, wait, I heard about this cast.
So there's a brother on this cast. Let me see if I can find him. Justin Blue.
I'm not listening to this.
I want to say he went to Georgia State. I just saw a clip on one of these reality show Instagrams that I go and check in on every now and then for the good fights.
Right.
I saw him on there arguing with these two white cast members of his. One of them looks like this girl, Tova. I don't know how. Here you go. This is her. Blonde, blue-eyed. Okay? The tip.
Oh, no.
And basically, he's just like telling the truth about white privilege, white woman victimhood, like all of these things just in their general existence.
Right.
Mama is getting bent out of shape because, oh my goodness, he's saying white people suck so bad. White guilt, white guilt, white guilt. So she like goes off on it and tries to make him the bad guy. I forgot to make him Black excellence because I couldn't have survived in that environment.
No.
I think there was like another girl who I believe is Muslim who's on the show with them too, and she was raging. Like she was like the topic at the time was specific to race and like blackness, whiteness, or whatever, and she was pissed at this white girl's refusal to acknowledge what this man is saying. She was me with even more patience. Like I would have had to once again leave the room because it's just like the refusal to acknowledge it pisses me off to no end. But this brother stayed so calm, never raised his voice, stood firm into what he believed in. Eventually one of the white dudes got upset too because of like the same reason.
They get mad when you won't let it go.
And he said, the black guy says at one point something to the effect of, I'm persecuted every day. I've been put in handcuffs. I've been, under arrest because of the color of my skin alone before. And the white dude literally yells back at him, I've never had to go through that a day in my life. Exactly, it was like, okay, bitch. Let's pause.
Exactly, bitch.
Let's listen to why are you yelling that as if that isn't the point?
You literally proven the point.
And like 2 seconds later, they're like, look, we're very sensitive because we just want to be the solution. Like
God, they love to cry.
I can't. You cannot behave that way.
Yeah. No.
You cannot take a stance like that, or rather not take a stance at all, and then say that you're not racist. You're just as bad.
Yes, exactly that.
So I just don't even want to be friends with this guy no more.
Yeah, you don't have to wear a white hood and, burn black people's houses and bomb churches to be racist.
Just because you're not putting babies in fucking concentration camps in this country.
Right. Doesn't mean you're not complicit in something else. Like, and that goes for everybody. But racism is such a hugely ingrained part of this country. And it's something that people, as long as white people act like it shouldn't be addressed or we don't have to talk about it, it will continue to be a problem.
No, you don't have to talk about it.
But no, white people are going to have to start fucking talking about it.
I mean,
period.
What is it? There doesn't need to be a pushback.
Woo. But they're in denial that they have privileges because they are white. And that's when you just have to remind them of history.
I don't
and
like
the way things actually work.
Your friend whatsoever. Your friend needs like hardcore therapy. Not
rocks.
only is he transphobic, but he seems to have a problem with activism in the community and out proud gays. You know, like the motherfuckers who have worked, who have died, cried, bled so that you could have any goddamn motherfucking thing.
It sounds like femphobia too. Like he's like it's the more what is the word I'm looking for? The more lively members of the community, you know, not the Pete Buttigieg's. Buttigieg?
I don't know what that is.
I can't say his name right. Mayor Pete from South Bend, the gay man running for president.
Oh!
Raised like $24 million. Where do you think that money came from? Rich white gays who see themselves in him, I'm sure. But anyway. Yeah, your friend needs a lot of help, but there's no talking to people who will not listen. So.
In the words of Jennifer Lopez, I ain't your
all right.
I ain't your mama.
Okay.
I ain't your mama.
Next question. It's coming from
it's a great line.
Gerard. Gerard says, my boyfriend and I have been together for 2 years. Everything's been going well. We live together and everything.
That's approximately 5.5 years.
I know, in gay time.
Yeah.
Well, right. Yeah, I see what you mean. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Around mid-May, I started noticing a change. My boyfriend started to become distant, not responding like he used to, and we stopped going out and doing things. In early June, I asked him about it and what had been going on. He said that he's not happy, stressed out, and that he has checked out of the relationship. He said his stress was related to work and money, but in my mind, this means he doesn't want to be in the relationship anymore. During that conversation, I asked if he was happy, and he said yes, that he's just not in a good place right now. Whew. Okay. A couple weeks ago, we talked, and he basically said all the things that annoy him and told me all of the things that I'm doing wrong. But it felt like I was being attacked, and he said again that he has checked out of the relationship.
Right.
Whenever we have a big conversation like that, it takes a while for me to process, so I didn't think of a rebuttal or anything to say to him until later that night, and it was too late to bring it back up. To me, it hasn't been feeling like we're together. It feels like I have a roommate that I don't talk to, but we happen to sleep in the same bed. I try to propose a date, and he says no, but he'll go out with his friends. We haven't kissed in over a week. He hasn't initiated a kiss in forever. We haven't had sex or done anything intimate in 2 months, and he just doesn't communicate the same anymore. We used to have a lot of fun. I don't know what changed. It feels weird, and I want things to go back to how they used to be. Our relationship isn't thriving and progressing. I can understand him being stressed and not happy, but you can't just disengage like that. My question is, do you think he doesn't consider us in a relationship anymore? Should I move on?
Oh my God.
I don't want to just give up on the relationship, but something has to give. I picked this because there are no fewer than 20 emails in the inbox, and they come from people of all genders and all sexualities, and all of them are something that is fucking blatant like this, and they just can't see it. Gerard.
He told you twice that you're single.
This man has told you that you are single, sis. Like, maybe, I don't know if he's just too scared to say that he wants to break up. I don't know if y'all are in a lease, and so, you know, y'all can't even really move out at this point. But this man, you don't have a man. No. You do not have a man. I know you want things to go back to how they used to be. I know you don't want to give up on the relationship, but the relationship has been given up on.
Yeah, it's over.
You can't sustain it by yourself. He does not want to be with you for whatever reason. I don't know if he's lying to you about his stress. Perhaps so, because it seems like if he was stressed about work or money, that he would come to you about that and be open and honest with you about it. It sounds like he just doesn't want to be with you and is too cowardly to say that.
I mean, how stressful is money and stuff for you always hanging out with your friends?
Right. I mean, most people are stressed out about work and money. I mean, like, that is most people in the world.
Kind of, yeah.
So, you know, that's kind of like why we're in a relationship. We share bills, and, you know, there's somebody to be your emotional support and vice versa. Like,
oh, but don't nobody. No, I should say don't nobody. Many. Many people in a relationship don't seem to grasp that last part.
Yeah, no, they don't. They don't get the vice versa. They get, but
you used to be cute to me.
It's not
sex
cute.
Was good. Now I just don't know why I'm doing this. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but it's been, twice in the past couple of no, not even past couple of months. Twice in the past month, he's told you that he doesn't want to be with you anymore. And I think you just need to go ahead and start making moves as though you are single. Like, you don't, I honestly don't even think you have to have a conversation with him about it.
No.
If you can move out, I would just pack my things and leave.
I would just go.
Because he's clearly ready to be alone. Like, I don't even know what else to tell you. Like,
he's all but changed the locks or pushed you outside or just.
And it's so frustrating because y'all been together for 2 years and it's like, really, nigga, you can't just be real with me about what's going on. And like, so you really just gonna ice me out and make me feel bad until I finally get fed up and leave you?
I think that is usually the more frustrating thing for me.
It
isn't even
is.
just like, oh, well, I'm about to be single now or whatever. This is over. Yeah, that can suck too. Fine.
Yeah.
But you can absolutely jump way over that shit.
Yes.
However, the frustrating thing to me, you know, especially if you really seek closure and stuff, is like getting a firm understanding of what the fuck is going on with you. Yeah. Why things are like this. Because niggas love to dance around facts.
They do.
You know, niggas love to backflip over the truth.
Yep. All that shit.
So you never, like, it's real easy for your relationship to come to an end with no concrete explanation as to why. Yeah. So you have to, like, or I've learned to just be like, you know what? I don't need a why from you. Yeah. You know what I mean? God, the universe, whatever it is that you believe in.
Yep. The devil.
I mean, well,
it
some
might be
people
Satan.
do. Who never knows? Has led us to a place where this is the end. Yeah. I'm not asking no questions. Right. I'm just going about my business. Yes. Because that is clearly what I meant to do at this juncture.
Yes. This is over. That, like, this relationship, you can't even fight for it anymore because two people, or everybody in the relationship, I should say, because y'all out here thruppling now. Everybody in the relationship has to agree to work on it in order for it to work. Your man is simply not there. So
he probably got a new nigga.
I mean, y'all ain't had sex in 2 weeks. He probably is fucking somebody else. He's not even initiating kisses with you. It sounds like he is annoyed by your presence. I'm sorry, baby. Like, you don't always get closure. Sometimes you have to find it yourself without a nigga actually being real with you, because unfortunately sometimes they just do not do that. But I don't want you to internalize any of this as being your fault either. This man deciding that he's mentally checked out of the relationship but not actually being real with you about his feelings is his fault. Like, that is, and by fault I don't mean like blame. I mean like that is his character flaw. Yeah. Like, that is his error. That is something wrong with him that he needs to fix within himself. Because if you have been with somebody for 2 years and y'all live together, you owe them. You're right. He can't, or he shouldn't just leave you like that wondering what the fuck happened. But it sounds like that's what he's going to do. So I would just say, are you going to tell me why we broke up, or am I just going to move out? And then have the conversation from there or not. But I would tell him, look, I understand that we're broken up. I just want to know if you're going to tell me what happened or not.
I love the drama, so I'm going to just pack my things. Like, when I say I'm throwing my shit in the bags. You know, you might not even, maybe you'll get a Post-it in the hallway or something like that.
I mean, I do love that as well.
I'm not giving. And you absolutely can find closure on your own, because you can move on with your life. Eventually you look back at, like, you accidentally scroll past a picture of that nigga, and then one side of your upper lip just raises up like a dog. And you're just like, ugh.
What was I thinking? I think, oh my God, I look back at some of my exes like, sis, how low can you go? Like, where were we?
All the way.
Oh my God, bitch. We were in the abyss with that bitch. Oh, sis. Yeah, but you know, you're young and you can absolutely pick up your life and move on and find somebody who can communicate with you. Like, that is the bare fucking minimum.
May we at least speak?
This nigga's raggedy. Like, you're better off without him. Ugh, gross. All right, next question comes from, I need a name for a girl.
Or Alicia.
Or Alicia says, I don't know can you use a made up name? Because I don't know if my mother-in-law listens to this show. She is super homophobic, but I don't know her life. Okay. So here we go. She is a bitch.
Probably not listening.
I don't like her, and she gives me bad vibes. Every time she comes over, it's uncomfortable, and my husband instantly becomes depressed. She was physically abusive to him when he was a kid and verbally abusive his whole life. Through all of this, my husband is amazing, and he always says he doesn't want a family like the one he grew up in. He is literally the total opposite of his family. We've been together since 2011, married since 2016, and we have a 7-month-old and a 2-year-old. Here's the problem. When we were dating, she tried to say me and my family were using him for things, but mind you, he was broke and my family had more money. When she found that out, she then said that we were buying him and was upset when he moved out and when we got engaged. She refused to come to the wedding, even though his dad came, but his dad is a mess too because he was in and out of my husband's life, and we haven't even seen him in the past 2 years. Damn, his family really does sound like a wreck. His mom then showed up when I got pregnant and came to the hospital to meet our son. She has been finding ways to see the kids throughout these past couple of years, but we are still struggling with how we feel. My husband doesn't want to be around her or want the kids to be around her, and I'm kind of feeling the same way. I don't know what to do. We don't want to let our emotions get in the way of her seeing the kids, but we are upset with her behavior. She's made a lot of little comments about me and him, even since the kids were born, so she's not making it any easier. My question is, are we being really petty by not letting her see the kids often and taking them to my parents, or are we in the right and to say fuck how she feels? I hope I answered any questions you would ask. What is this? She also put it, oh my God. She wrote it out in an attachment as well. Okay, so yes. What'd you say, or Alicia?
Mm-hmm.
Or Alicia. Having issues with her mother-in-law.
I mean, I don't think that you're petty for not having her around the kids. If that's the type of behavior she displays when she's around, then I absolutely wouldn't allow her to be around. Honestly, even if she didn't act that way around the kids and she act that way around me, I still wouldn't want her around my kids.
Yeah.
Because if you're giving me bad vibes, you're bringing me down, you're making me feel, like shit. I feel like I'm not where I need to be in terms of, my responsibilities as a parent or just in the home period or whatnot. Like, I just don't want no bad vibes around my space, around my kids,
Amen.
Anything like that. I don't want or need. That's a great thing about being an adult. And I think that, as we've said a million times, the trouble with these things is like obligation.
Yes.
And, just the sort of expected behavior that we attach to our quote unquote elders and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with removing somebody from your life if they're toxic. I don't really care who they are. And a lot of them know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
they absolutely do.
I don't think that there's anything wrong with, the way that you are handling it in terms of visitation for grandkids, et cetera, et cetera. I don't care if, your parents see the babies every damn day.
Sounds like
your parents ain't driving
assholes.
nobody fucking
Right.
crazy in the house. So
it sounds like your husband was never taught to establish boundaries or have boundaries. And so he's having a hard time saying to his mama, bitch, you're not in my life no more. But that's exactly what needs to happen.
Yeah, I think that he might need some coaching from a professional in terms of like not allowing certain things, how to communicate with that type of energy. Yeah. And I think that if he can work on establishing an understanding and a mutual respect between himself and his mother, then that will allow other things to fall into place. Because at the end of the day, I'm a grown up. I have my literal own children to take care of and to worry and be concerned about. I'm not going to let you disrespect me. I'm not going to let you disrespect my wife. I'm not going to let you disrespect my marriage.
Straight like that.
My family, period. You know what I'm saying? And I can love you to, the bottom of my heart and yours, but you're just not going to come around here. Yeah.
And never see you at the exact same time.
And that is just it.
Because you either going to act right or you're going to get out my life. And you'll be surprised at how many will choose to get out your life. But you simply have to lay it down for her like that. You fucked me up in my childhood, physically and verbally abusive. And even to this day, you still kind of a bitch. So, there's literally no reason for us to keep you around. Your husband gets upset when his own damn mama comes through, then she don't need to come through. I know especially in the Black community, we have this thing about our elders and you always have to respect and honor your mother and father and blah, 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 all that bullshit. But your mother and father have to honor you too. You are a human being. You didn't ask to be brought to this earth and you deserve the same consideration and respect as everybody else. They cannot just treat you like shit because they gave birth to you or because, part of their DNA is yours. No, bitch, that's not good enough. You can't shit all over me just because you happen to be my parent.
You don't have the right to express your opinion in any form. I don't even care if you're not a raging asshole all of the time.
Right.
I'm an adult.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
and
responsible.
You're simply not going to talk to me like that.
For all of these things in my life now. I'm not coming to you for help for anything. Yeah. I don't need anything from you. Mm-hmm. So at this point, us being in each other's lives is just about respect, love, and those two things have to go.
Because we want to be in each other's lives.
Right, hand in hand. Yes. If we don't have a healthy relationship at all, I don't need you to be you're not responsible for me. I'm not responsible for you.
Exactly.
I don't need you to help to be there for my kids. I don't need you to feed anybody in the house or whatever. You can just not come around and that will be it.
Your kids don't deserve to be exposed to that either. And if it's hard for you to tell her that, then think about the effect that she will have on your children. Do you want your children to go through the same thing your husband did? That might make it easier to say to her, bitch, you're going to get it together or you're not coming over. And it's your decision.
And let me tell you something. I was ready to jump on anybody who was talking spicy to mine when I was 4.
I understand.
So I understand. Don't think these babies don't hear, don't care.
Right? That's real.
So I don't care who you are.
Last question is kind of related to mental health. It comes from Dakota. She says, I appreciate your input on all things related to mental health, and I have been stumping myself with this one. My therapist keeps saying things like, yeah, don't do that, but I'm wondering if you have any tips directly about this issue. So things are going well in life, ? I landed my dream job that I'm really good at, and I've been seeing this dude who is not only really sweet and funny and sexy, but he also helps me out some financially, which is huge. I've got my own place for a month now. My dogs are happy. It's good. And now I'm ready to sabotage it all. Not intentionally, of course. It's just that my depression and anxiety come in swinging, telling me that I'm trash and don't deserve any of this. And he's going to run once he sees the true side, right? And maybe I'll fail at this job or feel super overwhelmed, and I'm not a functional human being in any regard, so I'm definitely going to fail at some point, right? Y'all get it. I hear you talk about the strangeness of success. So how do you stop yourself from getting in the way and just stay out of the way so that you can keep working? Yes, I've seen myself be trash, but I'm not always trash, and I do deserve nice things, and I just want to keep them, even on my bad days when I feel like I don't at all. Thanks for your input. Love, Dakota. This one really struck me because this is an issue that I have not so much with sabotaging my life or relationships, but more I am frequently the only thing standing in the way of my goals.
Oh, yeah. More
frequently,
often than not.
yes.
Yeah, definitely.
More often than not. So I'm just trying to think of where to start with this. Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I'm I think that I'm rather aware enough of the fact that I make things difficult for myself. It's weird because I feel like I end up going through this weird cycle of I've got this, and I know that these are shortcomings for me, and they put me into anxious places, which affects my productivity, and I'm ultimately going to fail,
Man.
and it's all gonna. I don't know. It's I feel like I get it. I'm quite aware of the fact that I can think that way and I can behave that way, and that it's something that you sort of have to grab the reins of or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'll be so easily I got this, bitch. You know what I'm saying? All I got to do is be better to me and believe in myself. And then I sit down and get started and nothing
now
happens.
I'm over it.
And I'm oh, nothing's happening because you're a worthless bitch and you don't deserve. How did you even get here, dumbass? God, you suck. Go kill yourself. So I don't,
yikes.
It's rough because it's I think the best thing for me is, again, being aware of it and constantly reminding myself of what the truth is.
Yeah.
While also giving myself a break, because then I also will be like, oh my God, you suck because, you know, you didn't get this done, or you didn't do that, or this doesn't look this way, or that didn't turn out this way, or you still have to go and do that shit that you haven't done in 3 weeks, and blah, 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 and all of this other stuff. And rather than just being like, okay, bitch, nobody's going to come and assassinate you over this.
Yep, that's true.
Why don't you get your ass up and get started?
Yep.
I then go into this depression about how I don't do shit right. So I think, thankfully, there's therapy. And there's like, I'm doing far more, you know, I'm going to the old Mary Jane way of writing down affirmation, writing down like things. I mean, I'm not putting Post-its all over my bathroom.
I was about to say, are you being Mary Jane?
No. But I'm writing more, I'm writing out my feelings about myself more. Sort of like a journal diary or whatever, but less like, like less Moesha Dear Diary.
Okay.
And more like
iconic music.
You know, very much. You know, that's the soundtrack of my life. When I'm pumping down, you know what I'm saying? Fifth Avenue.
That's right. That's the
out
beat
here
I hear.
in my head when I'm about to get kicked out someplace. Yeah, so I try to like write down more about like how I've been feeling when certain things, like, you know, when I have certain emotional or mental struggles, I try to write that stuff out. And I definitely have to write more in terms of like what I'm actually going to get done. And it's easier for me to sort of take the pressure off of myself and be like, you're not, one thing I keep saying to myself is like, you're not in the position that you're in, and you're not walking in the direction that you're walking in for no reason.
Yes.
Even the stuff that I'm just like, how did this happen? What is going on here? How are we making money from talking to each other like we always have? Like all of those types of things, like trying to loose myself of the imposter syndrome and be like, you don't really have to get it. You know, it's not your responsibility all the time to see the finish line. Sometimes you just got to run in the space that you're at and just try to be as consistent as possible. And if you trip and scrape your knee, get your ass up and be like, oh, that hurt, but whatever. I don't know. I'm so
move on.
Right. I'm so quick to fall down and then stay there and bawl like I'm like 12 months old again.
And really, that's what I was going to say. That for me, it comes back to that whole like parenting your inner child thing that my therapist talked about. Is so much wrapped up into that. Because
that's
that anxiety is usually like that wounded inner child being like, I feel uncomfortable or scared or nervous or whatever about this thing because something fucked up happened to us and we haven't really processed it or dealt with it. So I'm going to be here to remind you that we're trash because we feel like we're trash. And what I constantly have to do anytime that comes up is like literally when I feel it, I have started talking, like I will talk out loud to this little girl who is me. Anyway. I picture little me at like age 10 and I'm always like, all right, sis, what's up? Like, what are you feeling? What are you going through? Because I'm the mama now. And whatever you're scared of, whatever you're nervous about, or whatever doesn't feel good, I can help you with. I'm going to help you. So let's just address it. What is it? Like, you feel like you're not good enough. Okay, well, that's not true, girl. The numbers simply say otherwise. Like, you can feel that way, but the facts say otherwise. You might think, oh, well, you know, I fucked up so much and that's why my life is like this and and all these other things. And then what I have to say is, well, look, little sis, you literally did the best you could with what you were given. And maybe you had unhealthy coping mechanisms throughout your whole life, but you weren't really ever taught to do anything better. And now that I know how to do better, I'm going to help you do better. But we're not going to blame ourselves for not knowing any better. Look, you just simply didn't, girl. So it's like, for me, it's not as constant as it used to be. But every time that comes up, I make it a point to have a conversation with my inner child and be like, okay, sis, what are you really feeling? Like, what's really going on here? What are you really scared of? Because you need a competent adult to help you through it. And here I am. You know, like, I really have to look at it like that. And then that eases some of the, oh God, my life is going so great. When is something going to fuck up? When is the other shoe going to drop? When is, everything going to fall apart?
I feel like that that anxiety of like, when is something bad going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
For me, it has lessened simply because I spend so much time now just being stressed about one thing after the next, after the next, after this. So I don't even get to think like, oh yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
When is it going to suck? Because that used to be a really constant thing for me now. Like, and I think that writing also does help because sometimes I don't know specifically what I'm writing about. Sometimes I just write like all of the emotions I'm feeling, and eventually, not all the time, but many times I land on something like, oh, I'm depressed because, last week in the gym, I didn't, make it to where, like, whatever. Like, something, it'll be like random things, but sometimes I just keep going and eventually, and I also speak out loud. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I will land on something specific that has me, because there's nothing more frustrating than when you're like extremely depressed or just down in the dumps and you can't clearly express or understand why. When you just, like, it just sucks. And that's like depression. Yeah. It just like everything just feels like it sucks. It feels like there's no hope or whatever. And worst problem about it is like if someone were to ask you what's wrong, you can't really tell them. Yeah. So sometimes that writing actually does help me like get to the root of something. Yeah. And the crazy thing about writing a show about myself is that
the introspection.
I'm forced. First of all, I'm like going through actual motions about the writing process, in and himself. So what I'm saying, so I'm learning a lot about myself in that, but then I'm also being faced with a lot of the things that have sort of crafted that anxiety. Yeah. From when I was a child, because I'm literally going back and like unpacking stuff so that I can properly tell this story.
Thank God for therapy.
Jesus.
Because doing all this without therapy.
Because,
oh no.
Wow.
A tailspin, okay?
Like a saving grace is like, ooh, I have somebody to talk to. Like I have a professional.
Amen. Seriously, yes.
So yeah, it's just like, I think that like your constant thing about parenting your inner child and that piece of advice that your therapist gave you, it's like really one of the best daily things to think about. Oh yeah. Because when you just sort of like think of yourself as, or think of that part of you being like your younger self and, insecurities that simply exist because you don't really know better or have enough insight. When you think about that being that part of you and you just are like, okay, look, what is this? Yeah. When you dropped your lollipop as a kid and you cried tears, and your mom was like, child, here. Right. Rinse it under some water and so a couple of layers of that sugar come off. Go sit down. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. Whatever. There just needs to, you gotta tap into yourself and just shake it off because it's easy to get stuck in that shit or whatever, and you don't really have to.
With therapy, it's easier for me now, like when I am feeling something that is fucked up, to actually get to the root of it and decide, is this depression or is this something from my childhood that is sneaking up on me and fucking with my feelings?
Because we sometimes fall into repetitions of things because of that. Yes. And we don't even realize that we're repeating ourselves.
We don't even know that we are exhibiting the same shit behaviors that we learned in childhood. We don't even know that we are still doing it to ourselves.
It's sometimes the way that we communicate with people, like the types of people that we get in relationships with.
Yeah. Oh, God.
The types of things that you do for money, maybe. Like there are some things that, and you won't even really see until someone is like, oh, hey. Look at this common ass denominator. Yeah. Sometimes you don't even realize that you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over, and it's almost like a self-destruction. And a lot of that is tied to things that you would have never thought of. Yep. Maybe because it's something that is tied to when you were very, very young, or just really fucked up things or traumatic things or sad things that you may have experienced that you would not tie this to until you can.
Exactly. Like I would constantly beat myself up for any mistake I made, no matter how small. And did not know that was because I was never allowed to make any mistakes in my childhood without like severe repercussions. So like did not even realize that something that hurt so much as a kid, I was still doing to myself in adulthood. It's shit like that makes therapy so important. Oh, and meds, shout out to bupropion, the goat.
Nobody is going to tell me shit about it.
If I don't do shit else, I take that pill every day.
Real good on my time.
I'd be like, well, guess what we're doing? Getting up and eating so we can take that fucking medicine.
I got my little Sunday to Saturday box.
Okay.
I'm good.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. I got all my shit laid out, okay?
No reason
Pick
to
up
forget
that
it.
prescription 3 days before the pills run out, bitch. I'm never late on that shit. Dakota, I hope that helps you and anybody else who is struggling with the same thing. If you have questions for The Read, send those to asktheread@gmail.com. We'll be right back.
Hey, y'all, speaking of therapy.
Look at that.
Maybe you felt some things and whatever the fuck it is we were just talking about, because we love to speak. And you thought, hey, I might need to talk to somebody myself. Well, good news. Talkspace is here to help. They are therapy for how we live today. Mobile, affordable, available when you need it, and sickening. Simply provide your preferences for therapy. Talkspace is going to match you with one of their 5,000 plus therapists the very same day. And you can send your therapist unlimited text, audio, picture, or video messages from anywhere at any time. It's literally like a therapist right in your pocket at any time that you need them to be. And 1 month of therapy on Talkspace platforms costs about the same amount as a single session of face-to-face therapy, which is a hard fact.
Yep. It's just expensive, girl.
But no matter what you're going through or what you want to talk about, you're not alone. You don't have to deal with it by yourself. Join more than 1 million people who are feeling happier with Talkspace today.
Yes, I love Talkspace. I've used them myself before I switched to seeing a therapist in person, and it was truly invaluable. Like, I could not have gotten to the point of being ready to see my therapist if I didn't have my Talkspace therapist first. And when they say you can send unlimited text, audio, picture, video, they mean that. You let it all out, okay? Get all those feelings out. And then you decide how often your therapist will check in with you and the ways that they'll check in. But it's just really great to have somebody to talk to about the things that we all go through, because again, we literally all go through them. So check out Talkspace and match with your perfect therapist for a fraction of the price today by going to Talkspace.com and using code READ to get $65 off your first month. That's code READ at Talkspace.com. Let them know Kid Fury and Crystal sent you. Now let's move on.
Hey, y'all, we're running out of time. Better get you some summer while the getting is good. There's lots to do still
Before
outdoors.
you know it'll be over.
Okay, New York seems... I'm not even going to speak about New York's weather before I jinx something.
Yeah, don't do it.
All I'm saying is there's lots to do outside, and you do not want to have to waste too much time, if you don't have to, cooking on the indoors. That is why Daily Harvest is here to help. Daily Harvest delivers thoughtfully sourced, chef-crafted food that is built on fruits and veggies and can be prepared in less than 5 minutes with more than 65 different options. They've got ready-to-blend smoothies, which she loves.
So
I
good.
enjoy those very much.
They were so good.
Thanks to those that they sent. Also, they got refreshing soups. They've got savory harvest bowls. I did like those. Each Daily Harvest cup takes one step to prepare, with room for customization. You can add your favorite milk to a smoothie if you like oat milk or almond or cashew.
Oat milk is that, girl.
Or the cow. I don't know.
You know, whatever you
want.
like.
Or you can heat a harvest bowl and top it with avocado or egg or whatever you want to do. You know, many of y'all, I know you in your kitchen getting spicy and, you know, zhuzhing stuff up. That's what we were raised to do.
That's true.
Daily Harvest single serving cups are the ultimate grab and go meal or snack for any time of the day.
Yes, because for me, I am usually trying to hurry up and get something to eat because I've waited too long to eat and now I'm starving.
Yeah.
So it's like something needs to be inside me in the next 15 minutes.
Yes.
And Daily Harvest keeps me from ordering a bunch of ridiculous mess on some app that I'm going to regret the next day anyway. It's so good and quick. That is like the main part for me. I just love how quick and delicious it is. You can go to dailyharvest.com and enter promo code READ to get 3 cups free in your first box. That's promo code READ for 3 free Daily Harvest cups at dailyharvest.com. Dailyharvest.com, code READ, 3 cups free. Let them know the Read sent you. Let's wrap up the show.
Okay, we're back and it is now time for the Read.
And yeah.
I'm just going to get it out of the way.
Yeah, because I was disgusted.
So Pride Month is over. And again, I say thank you. Because don't get me wrong, I'm completely proud of who I am, and I don't see myself not being proud in the future, at least my sexual identity. But I was just so tired of the capitalism and all the rainbows in the storefronts, and the fact that white America just has realized that they can just sell y'all rainbow versions of the same ugly clothes they've been selling y'all and make money off of this Pride Month because the white gays gotta find something rainbow to wear to that parade. I'm never going to. So I'm glad it's done. I hope that you girls are still proud now that it's July. God knows that,
You're a mess.
the rest of these niggas selling jeans and whatnot won't be there to help you
Yeah.
if somebody shoots up another club.
Well,
So,
there you go.
that being said, I wanted to say fuck all of y'all who were present acting a fool at the Stonewall Inn. The Stonewall Inn. Where...
Say it.
This is the 50th anniversary of
On the
Stonewall
literal day.
Uprising.
I'm sorry. I'm going to just push the mic away.
I heard this was sometime in like this past weekend. A black trans woman who wanted to be anonymous requested a mic to speak in this bar that they have in there. The white gays are all up in there drinking and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And what she wanted the mic for was to honor and discuss the rampant and honestly terrifying rate at which black trans women are dying, contracting HIV, AIDS, and just like all of the shit that we be talking about on here all of the fucking
white gays
time.
don't have to worry about.
That white gays literally do not have to be concerned with. And guess what? They weren't concerned in that moment with this woman. She was booed. They tried to take the mic from her. Security tried to get involved and rip her out of the fucking place. They were telling her to leave. They were trying to play music over her. And just... Thankfully, there seem to be some sensible people who I'm assuming know the history of the place they were in, as well as just being decent human beings.
Oh my
God. Who fought. I didn't just fart. That's the chair. Because it sounds like I did.
Thank you for clearing that up.
But I just can't. Again, like going back to that letter with the white gay who is transphobic and homophobic, it doesn't shock me. Like the pride for so many of you ungrateful ass wipes is just a place now for you to go and drink and do whatever your drug of choices are and, fuck on somebody and then that's it. There's no literal like sense of pride and an acknowledgement of the people who, like, my God, do you not know who Marsha P. Johnson is?
Do you not know who Sylvia Rivera is? Do you not know without them there wouldn't be no fucking pride for you to be celebrating right fucking now?
Very same place.
50 years to the day.
Y'all tried to call the police on a black trans woman. At Pride. At
Stonewall.
At the Stonewall.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
The fact.
Oh my God.
I am just so disgusted with so many of y'all. Each of y'all bitches deserved like a backhand in succession. I wish that we could have just lined y'all up from one side to the next. Just backhand. There's just no respect. And this is the type of shit that I be talking about when I'm talking about white gays and them not giving a living shit about like the intersectionality that exists within the community, like the other letters in the LGBTIAQ, all of these things, like there's no real sense of community outside of that. And for you to be so ignorant, so hateful towards somebody who is speaking actual truth, you can't, like, to feel so comfortable as a gay person when other people within this exact same community are dying and nobody gives a fuck. Even now, like, whenever there's a new name and a new face of some black trans woman who's been murdered or who's been found dead or whatever, I swear it's only the trans women I follow that I see talking about it. I only hear about it because, like, Angelica Ross posted something about it, or India Moore, or MJ Rodriguez, or Janet Mock, or Laverne Cox. Like, it's only them. Peppermint. I only see, like, them say, like, do you know, what is the point of you even wearing that motherfucking rainbow in the first place? And this is why I said to my friend, Like, white America has attached itself to this to this Pride Month thing so heavily and selling this stuff because they know that they can literally make a buck from it. Yeah. The gays are just trying to find something to wear the parade. I say, ask yourself when's the time you've seen like a nigga? Like, when's the last time you've seen any queer person of color that is like quite aware of that and surrounds themselves with people who are aware of that?
Important caveat.
Now, I'm going to say it one more time. Who also surrounds themselves. And this is no show. You can take it how the fuck you want to take it. When's the last time you seen them niggas rocking rainbow, like anywhere? We know that flag, them colors, it doesn't protect us.
No.
That's not anything that is like symbolic for us. That's their thing. You know what I'm saying? And this is prime example of why. There's just no actual sense of pride from this community so much anymore. There's no respect, no love, no honor for the people who literally went down for you to be in the position. Like, if it weren't for queer people of color, if it weren't for Black trans people, Latinx trans people, you wouldn't have no parade to go to, bitch. Nope. You wouldn't have no bar to sit your motherfucking ass in and be making out and sucking dick and doing whatever the fuck else. You wouldn't be able to go and get the fuck married. Like, wouldn't
be no World Pride in New York City. You literally owe Black trans women for the experience you're having right now.
But you... much like just whiteness in general, don't want anyone to come and pop your like ignorant bliss bubble. You don't want anybody to come in and stop you from partying to say, hey, like, we're actually dying and suffering in a real rate, and some like more needs to be done. Not only to raise awareness, but to put an end to it. And you're like, nah, get this bitch out of here, call the police. Y'all have fucking lost it. Y'all have lost it. So don't come to me.
You know the riot was because the police were coming through to arrest all you homosexuals, right? All you dick suckers. You know that was like, the boldness of it is what really blew my mind. Like, somebody saying, yeah, we get it, but like, now is not the time. Bitch, it's literally the anniversary of Stonewall. It is literally Pride. How is this not the time?
Every day is going to be the time until something different happens. Until there's a change. There's never not a right time as far as I'm concerned. But yes, I would venture to say that at the fucking gay ass Stonewalling on the 50th goddamn motherfucking Black ass anniversary of the uprising on Pride World. Pride. When else was there a time, queen? When would have been the right time then, bitch? When would have been the right time? I'm so tired of white people dismissing actual real shit that is going on even within communities they claim to be a part of, because it just upsets their little fifis and makes them uncomfortable. No.
You need to be uncomfortable, bitch. That's what confronting privilege feels like. It's not supposed to feel warm and fuzzy and nice. It's just, it blows my fucking mind, man.
The Lord be having me in where I need to be, and I'm just thankful.
I mean, for real, because I was never going to go to Stonewall on that night or really any time during Pride. I was never going to go no damn way.
I know so many people who went just because it's World Pride.
Yeah, it's a historic landmark. Like, it's literally a landmark.
I know people who are like, I'm just going to go out over there just for the respect or just for, to see it or blank, 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 blank. I know people who even went to the parade who was like, you know what? This year, I told myself that I was going to try and like loose this sort of insecurity that I still have with my sexuality. I've never done anything like this. I've been afraid to just like be a part of that or da da da. Like, I know so many people who were only in places that I damn sure wasn't at just because they wanted to feel something or, pay honor to something. But to know that there are so many people who are more concerned with partying and getting drunk and completely ignoring the reason that you can be free wearing your fucking crop top and your coochie cutters and your rainbow rainbow headband out around Christopher Street, like just acting as if who the fuck cares about you black bitches and whatever the fuck it is. I don't give a fuck about what.
You literally owe them. You owe them this whole fucking experience that you having right now. All these streets shut down and police standing back so you can celebrate yourself. You owe that to black trans women. And then you told one to her face at Stonewall on the anniversary during Pride to shut the fuck up. I
don't care if she would have sat one booty cheek on the left turntable and one booty cheek on the other goddamn record. Bitch, she could have sat right on top of the Serato box. I don't give a fuck.
Yes.
Fuck that. No, like.
It's just so bad. It's wrong.
Because I know, you know what she's talking about. It's not even like something that is just foreign to you. You just felt like it was a downer and so who cares? Mm-hmm. Y'all do not deserve the place. Like, you don't deserve a bar to sit in and drink and be openly gay and whatever, bitch. You don't deserve none of that shit. You don't deserve a fucking parade to go to.
Nope.
You don't deserve a fair or any of the shit. None of these apps either. Not at all.
Go back
Fuck
to hiding
y'all.
if this is how y'all gonna act. Just go back. Just illegalize gay if this is how y'all gonna fucking act. I'm fucking sick of it. We actually accidentally went to the parade after we left 305 Live because we were trying to go to the noodle shop.
I mean, because it's literally like right in
and
it.
it's right there.
Yeah.
So, and I was like looking at everybody celebrating themselves and like just being really free and having a good time. And I'm like, man, this is really nice. But at the same time, had no idea that y'all had treated a black trans woman like that at Stonewall. And I just, you know, what is really crazy about it? White gays will always disappoint you, but let it be a bunch of Matthew Shepherds popping up all of a sudden in the news. And guess who they're going to be turning to talking about? Our community is under attack.
Why aren't you guys posting the picture?
Oh, bitch, maybe because black trans women die every other week and y'all act like you never heard of them? Maybe that's why. I just don't. Man, somebody retweeted that thread onto my timeline and I could believe it because cis white gays.
Fully was not surprised.
But I was sick at like, to silence a black trans woman, period, at any time. Like, in this community, like when we're talking about something that is so important.
So disgusting.
But the environment that you were in and the time, like I just...
Stay home.
The audacity blows my fucking mind.
Stay home.
It blows
you have
my
no
mind.
right to participate in anything called Pride, especially at that establishment, if that's how the fuck you're going to behave. How dare you? How dare you? Fuck you. And that's it. I'm done.
I'm glad you said it because it was definitely going to come up on this show in one way or another. Y'all just, the caucasity is over fucking
Y'all
moment.
must be stupid.
Y'all know they really are. And full of your privilege. It's just so full of it that you don't even have to pretend to acknowledge actual history anymore.
My wondrous
fuck
God.
you hoes.
I can't.
All right. I'm going to pass my read this week.
Pass the read like we used to.
And this comes from Ray. And I picked this because I also used to work in retail. So I just heavily identify, and not even just retail, but specifically like cashiering and, you know, that sort of thing, which is, if you've never done it, literal actual hell. So
clothing retail for me was always the one that was really hard.
I feel like Walmart doesn't count as clothing retail. Not really, because there's just so much to do around the fucking store. But I never worked in like an Abercrombie or nothing like that.
I worked at a clothing place called, I think it was called Up Against the Wall. I don't even think they have them anymore. It was like
sounds like a nigga good time.
No, it was it was like a Hot Topic for hipsters. Like, I don't go to Hot Topic.
Oh, but I thought Hot Topic was for hipsters.
Right. So, I don't know. It was like cute for the age or whatever. I was in college, but so it was awful.
Okay. So Ray says, stop putting your money on the counter and start putting it in the cashier's hand. There are only 3 exceptions to this. There are only 3 exceptions for this. Number 1, the cashier is nowhere near being ready to take the payment from you because they're bagging your items. Number 2, you are stealing. Or number 3, the cashier doesn't have any hands. Do not put your wrinkled, disorganized, sweaty titty dollars on the counter and then feel away when the cashier places your change card or receipt on the counter for you to pick up. You thick-knuckled in a rush to stand at the register. Can you put it in my hands? Ass whores are rude and need to think or maybe think twice before being so blindly ill-mannered. I'm not saying putting money on the counter is wrong. I'm simply saying it's disrespectful, and being disrespectful is wrong. More often than not, disrespect results in asses being handed to the offender. So no, I cannot put it in your hands unless by it you mean this waiting and ready ass whooping. I got you. The matter is small and shouldn't even be a topic, but I've learned baby steps are still steps. So small or not, you hoes are aggy and need to stop that shit. It's tiring and I'm in need of a nap. Most people who have not worked in retail don't think twice about this. Just imagine every cashier you encounter putting your stuff down instead of in your hands. Imagine constantly having to wipe your hands on a counter that's been touched by several nasty, tiny humans, food bags, ashy elbows, peeling knockoffs, and who knows what else. Imagine on top of that having to collect dirty ass money. True, money is filthy.
Money is literally disgusting.
And there you go. It's disrespect and filth. No thanks. Can't control one, but the other is a simple fix. And if you have worked retail and still do this, your mama is a hoe. End of story. For those saying it's not that big of a deal, just know that's my exact thought, bitch. All you have to do is wait until the cashier is ready for the payment and then put your money in the cashier's hand and continue your day not being a dick ass.
I feel like I do this and don't even think about it.
Very small gesture, but also a sign of respect. Put some respect on that etiquette. Thanks for the read. Love the show. Can't wait for more. Peace and light. Ray.
After that?
Ray, I have to say, this is something I would have never thought of until I started cashiering. And the number of people who will put money on the counter for you to pick up, but expect you to put the change in their hands, it's overwhelming. And I would just literally drop your money. If you leave your money on the counter for me to pick up, then I'm going to leave your change on the counter for you to pick up straight like that.
Yeah.
If you have to hand me your card, then I will hand it's literally so small. Put it in my hands. Touch my fucking hand if you want me to touch yours. If you want this to be a touch-free transaction, I understand. And I don't have no problem with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm glad to put your shit on the counter, but don't too often they will look at you like you crazy or something wrong with you. Right. My hand's right here. Yeah, bitch. And I have hands right here as well. But you didn't think about that, did you? You could disrespect the cashier, but I can't disrespect you. Girl, fuck you and this $7.50 an hour ass job.
Funny.
Y'all be wanting the most deference and respect and chill ass attitudes from the people who earn the least. If you don't take that shit on somewhere.
That's why I was about to say, I be often
I go out of my way
with a cashier anywhere, or just anybody working in retail or whatever job. If they have an attitude with me, I often just let it go. You have to be raging, disrespectful dickhead, and I did nothing to you for me to snap on you, because I have just totally been in those jobs before where umpteen people done got on my fucking nerves today, or I just don't want to be there because I don't like my boss, or I'm just tired of being at work or whatever.
Haven't
it is what it is.
Break yet.
I haven't had my break
yet. Been on my feet all fucking day because they don't let you sit on the job.
Working overtime or doing whatever the fuck. I just get it. But I don't really carry cash around that much, but I cannot think. Almost every single time if I'm handing you actual, bills or whatever, I just wait until you're ready and then give it to you.
Yes. That is what a regular, respectful person who wants their change back in their hands would do.
I just feel and I haven't worked a register probably since I was a teenager, but so I can't think of actually it happening to me. I'm sure that it did, and it irked me because
it happened many times when I was at Walmart and Quick Trip, which is a gas station.
Yeah. But
it happened multiple times. I
just feel if you were there doing whatever and I just put the money on the counter, it's because I don't like you. Or I have, you know what I mean? I can't see that not being thought of as rude.
Because it is. It's I don't know what you think is wrong with my hand to where you can't touch it. But if you think that I am going to give you that respect when you didn't give it to me, you got a whole nother thing coming, bitch.
Yeah, that's another thing. If you aren't thinking and you put the money on the register or on the counter or whatever, and they do the same thing back to you, then you can just walk away. I would not. It's you just like you said, don't want to touch or whatever. You're not thinking about it. But putting the money on the register and then the registrar putting the money back down the same way and you being upset about that is ridiculous.
Trash.
And niggas really will get mad about that because I've seen it.
They will. It has happened to me, and I've had to tell them I did the exact same thing you did, sis. I really don't. I will mirror your behavior. So you need to act the way you want to act if that's what you want.
It's so funny because when you said retail, I was like, oh, there's so many things that this person could be reading about working in retail. And that was, I would have never, ever guessed that, but it's a good point.
So thank you, Ray, for that. If you have a read that you want to pass, send that to passtheread@gmail.com. And that is going to wrap up this week's episode of the show. Make sure you check us out on social media at This Is The Read. Our website is thisistheread.com. We also want to thank ThredUp for sponsoring this week's episode of the show. They are the world's largest online consignment and thrift store, making it super easy to stay on trend and, more importantly, on budget, all from the comfort of your own home. Get an extra 30% off your first order at thredup.com/read. That's ThredUp.com/READ for an extra 30% off today. Terms apply, but yeah, go shopping. And, what are our announcements this week?
We will be at the Essence Festival this weekend.
Yes.
We have a show there as a part of the Essence After Dark series of events. Friday at 6:30, I believe, is when the show starts.
Yeah, there's a lot of different acts that are a part of the Essence After Dark, but yes. So we will be there as well. Music by DJ Nina Drake. Tickets available at essencefestival.com. I think we are both also like posting the flyer and the little link or whatever to make it easier to you to just go to that. But
it's at essencefestival.com. You can go there and find the tickets, but the link is also in my bio on Instagram if you just want to jump right on over to Ticketmaster, girl.
Yeah, but it should be an amazing weekend. Cannot wait to see Miss
I already know
Melissa.
what my read is. I mean, my read. I already know who I'm reading. I had two possible ones this week, but I was like, okay, I'll just save one for the show this weekend. And I can't wait.
Oh, the fact that you are this excited already about your
this
read.
This actually pissed me off way more. And the second one really pisses me off.
My God.
But the one I did today pissed me off more and I felt is far more important.
Yeah.
This one is.
That's real.
Oof.
I can't wait to hear it. So yes.
Come on out.
We will see y'all at Essence. And I will also, I don't know if I'm allowed to say what I'll be doing on Saturday. Let me look real quick, see if this is, oh no, this is not a public event. So never mind.
Cute. But yeah, Missy.
Yes, we are excited to see Missy, just like literally going to scream and lose my mind. But
also, if you have any trade to offer with a thick New Orleans accent, I will be in town this weekend. Send them over my way. DMs are open. Do your thing, girls.
See, this is the problem because you putting it out there and somebody is going to say something. You're going to be like,
Oh, there's that. Man, you don't be looking at them.
Well, yeah, you either not going to look at the DMs or you're not really going to meet up with no nigga.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be both of those friends.
But I'll be like, oh, he's probably a serial killer.
All right. Well, I hope y'all enjoying your day, not celebrating this fuck-ass, trash-ass country. And we will see y'all next week.